This is going to be the best Cohn Zone ever. Good evening. Welcome to Primetime Cohn Zone. That's Lowell Cohn. I'm Grant Cohn. It's a very special week because they play in 2 days, and they played 2 days ago. So we're right in the middle. We're right between talking about the last game and looking forward to the next game. So we're gonna do both, and we're gonna talk a lot about Robert Saleh in particular. My dad's got a lot to say, but first, we made a bet last week, and I freaking won because I had a feeling in my gut that the Niners were going to lose. So this is what happens when the Niners lose. I win. And my dad got me a Sierra Cantabria Unica Reserva 2019 Rioja. So we're going to drink this together. It looks really nice, Dad. Thank you very much.
It's a really good Spanish red. I love these Riojas. And I want to tell you what happened. I told him I would get him a Pinot Noir from Willamette Valley in Oregon. But it was a very quick turnaround this week, and I happened to be at Costco yesterday. I love the cheap wine there, but they have a bin with really expensive stuff that's good, and you can get it cheap. So I got that at Costco yesterday. So I didn't get you the Pinot. I got you that.
Well, thank you, Dad. I appreciate it. I'll take it. I'll allow it. Okay, let's talk about Brock now. We're going to get into Robert Saleh. He spoke today about what happened in this game, but really the big story, other than Saleh, was Brock Purdy. He looked injured. They wouldn't acknowledge that he was injured after the game. He said he was fine. He's a tough guy, and Kyle Shanahan didn't want to talk about it or said he wasn't hurt. But then today, John Lynch went on the radio with Murph KNBR and said, there was this one play in the second quarter where Brock Purdy scrambled and got tackled. He may have heard it on that play. So when he was asked, was it re-aggravated? He wouldn't answer. When he asked, is he going to have, imaging done on it? He said, obviously. So, yeah, seems like something happened in the second quarter, and they kept him in the game. What do you think about that?
Okay. Let me first say really clearly, I have no inside knowledge. I live up here in Oakland. I don't go down to Santa Clara, and I don't know anybody on that staff. It's my opinion. Iggy, it is my belief he was hurt going into the game. No matter, either he is a terrible quarterback or he got hurt. He was hurt before the game.
Yep.
When Lynch says he heard it on a certain play, I'm not sure what he's saying, but I think he's obscuring the issue. He either re-injured it or he heard it. I think he re-injured it. I think he was injured to begin with, and they wanted him to play because he's a very good quarterback and he's the number one guy.
Yep.
But here's the key point. Whether he was injured or not going into that game, he didn't play well at all. Iggy, he gave it up 3 times. That's very bad. And other passes he doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's usually direct and precise. He was sailing passes. I think he was because he was hurt and he couldn't grip the ground with his toe as much as he ordinarily does. This is what a coach does. You see that going on for a half, for 3 quarters, you take him out. Kyle Shanahan's obligation is to win a game. It's not to make a point about his quarterback or to his quarterback. It's to win a game. In baseball, you take out a starting pitcher, no matter who the hell he is. He could be Sandy Koufax, and he's having a bad day, you take him out. In this case, they should have taken him out. And I'm going to say one other thing, Iggy. We don't know who's going to play against the Rams in 2 days. But if they decide that Brock can play, and he plays the way he played against Jacksonville for a quarter, take him out. Your obligation is to win the game, not anything else. So I think, one more thing, I know I'm dominating. I don't write columns anymore live from games. But, when you watch a football game, when I do, I think, what column would I have written that day? What would I have written to get people talking, buzzing, thinking, agreeing, disagreeing? I would have written, Kyle made a mistake. He should have taken the quarterback out. There would be nothing else that I would have written about that game. And if there were a second columnist who was writing a second column, he would have written about Saleh. That's the two columns that I believe should have come out of that game.
I agree. And I think it's interesting that the Niners are changing their story or amending their story, because saying that he wasn't hurt, he just played poorly, is not a good explanation. I mean, you want to say that he was hurt. And what's rough about saying that he was hurt is that you you played him before he was ready. They'll say he was ready, that he was practicing and they felt he was good to go, but didn't look like it. Even in the first quarter, before he re-aggravated, or whatever verb they want to use, he was floating passes, underthrowing passes. He didn't look good. He didn't look like Brock Purdy. And I think we saw in this game that if he's not close to 100% healthy, he should not be playing, particularly with this toe injury, because what makes Brock Purdy special and different than Mac Jones is the mobility. And he didn't have the elusiveness with this injury, and couldn't even throw well with this. So as long as this is an issue, they shouldn't risk re-aggravating it, making it worse, and they shouldn't ask him to be tough and play through it, because it's not helping the team.
I love it. I agree, and I would add one point which you told me. If Brock plays and he's just a pocket quarterback because he can't run, Mac Jones is a better pocket quarterback. If they're reduced to that, he has a better arm. He's elusive enough. He won't run, but Brock can't run. That's a reason to play the other guy.
Yeah. And I think what's unfortunate for Brock is that his issues might be more than just his toe. I mean, he's had an interception issue for about a year and a half. And when the great Josh Dubow looked into it, a lot of his interceptions are coming on first down. And it seems like with Brock, he's talked about how he doesn't always see where he's throwing. Sometimes he throws blind. He wants to throw with anticipation. He wants to intuit where the pass should go. Sometimes he's taking risks that maybe he doesn't need to take. Although I think a lot of his big passes come on first down too, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Now remember, we're saying he was hurt and that's why he didn't play well. It's a hypothesis. The team is being a little vague about it, but that's what Iggy and I believe. I've been around a long time, and if I were a coach, I wouldn't be upfront about it either. It's our business. You know, Harbaugh would hardly tell you anything about injuries, but it's what Iggy and I believe, and we think it's a pretty good bet that we're correct on that. Iggy, who do you think will be the quarterback Thursday night?
I think Mac will be the quarterback Thursday night.
Why?
Because Brock didn't practice today. He practiced last week. He didn't practice at all today. And the Niners can say that he's tough and he would have played if it were a game on Sunday, but the quick turnaround means he can't play.
Okay.
I asked Kyle Shanahan today, I even asked him, like, is your decision to play Brock just based on pain tolerance? And he said, no, it's based on whether he has the ability to be, perform at 100% of his ability and protect himself. So I don't think there's any chance he's going to be close to 100%.
Okay. Here's the irony in all this. And again, these are points we make when we're together chatting before we get on doing this. If they hadn't played Brock, let's say they hadn't played him against the Jaguars because we believe he was still hurt, he would have had a little more time to get better. And he would be more ready to play against the Rams than he is apparently right now. So I believe it was a mistake to play him against the Jaguars. It was a mistake not to take him out, but I also think it was a mistake to play him in the first place because I believe he wasn't sufficiently healed. And I think the game set him back. And I kind of think that's what Lynch said in his obscuring way, that the game set him back a little bit. So now they risk losing to the Rams because they don't have a healthy Brock Purdy, who when healthy is a hell of a quarterback. And they risk losing to the Rams if they don't have a healthy Brock Purdy when they might have had one.
What's tricky is that their training staff cleared him to play in that game on Sunday. He wasn't even on the injury report heading into the game. So then we watch the game and it looks like he should still be on the injury report. So I don't know how they explain that one, but I think what they were thinking was that even if he's less than 100% healthy, I don't know what percentage you would call what he was last week, a couple of days ago, he still gives us the best chance to win. I think they sincerely believe that. Then they saw it in action right?
Yeah.
Then they saw it in action. They're like, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe Brock needs to be Brock to give us the best chance to win. And if he's compromised and he can't drive and he can't make people miss, then maybe Mac gives us the best chance to win. Maybe we really need to let Brock heal 100% so this goes away.
Iggy, I want to tell you something. The Brock I saw against Jacksonville was 40% of Brock.
Yeah.
About 40%. Iggy, he couldn't move. I know he did the one scramble, but he didn't move the way he usually does. And clearly, he didn't have the arm action because he didn't have the legs, just like a baseball pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have the legs.
And with him, like if we're comparing him to pitchers, he's like Lincecum because he's small. And most pitchers are big and have effortless velocity because they're 6'4", 6'5" with long levers, and it's just easy for them. Lincecum had to get his whole body into it to throw hard. Like Purdy has to get his whole body into it to actually have some zip on his throws, and he can't do that right now with his toe. It's all arm.
Iggy, I love the comparison you made with Lincecum.
Mm-hmm.
He's not yet Lincecum. Lincecum won 2 Cy Young Awards.
That's right.
We don't know where he is now. We don't know what he's a mystery, Lincecum. Mm-hmm. And he faded. He was small. He gave everything he had, and he faded. This kid has never reached the Lincecum level.
No, Lincecum was a champion too.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about the way they throw a ball. Like Purdy wouldn't be a pitcher. Purdy would be a second baseman.
Right. And Kaepernick was a shortstop.
And a pitcher. He was a big-time pitcher. Yeah.
He had an arm. He wasn't a good quarterback, but he had an arm.
Yeah. Which baseball position do you think translates best to playing quarterback?
Okay. Iggy, in a way, I'd have to say catcher.
Interesting.
Because he sees the whole field.
Yep.
He's the only one who's looking in that direction. He understands the whole field and sees the whole field. After that, I'd have to say the shortstop.
I was going to say the shortstop. For mentally, it would be the catcher, but physically, the ability to move left and make a rocket throw, move right and make a rocket throw. The shortstop. And all the different arm angles. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's neither here nor there, though. Frisco Shield says, why does every quarterback play worse with Kyle Shanahan over time?
That's the eternal question. It's the eternal question. We don't have an answer.
I have a theory. Kyle's quarterbacks are all kind of backups. And you put them in his system and they have this incredible run. And then they come back to being who they would have been without the system. They get hurt. They throw picks. It happened to Jimmy. Brock was a backup. Then he looked great. Now he's playing like a backup. I mean, Mac Jones is the next one. He'll look great, and then give him 8 games. He probably won't look great anymore. That's usually the Kyle Shanahan pattern. He likes backup quarterbacks.
I love it.
CN List says, countdown until Purdy says your place sucks, man.
Let's move on.
About a year or two away from that. Fernando Alvarez says, why do you think we can't run the ball? Is it me or does Trent Williams look pretty washed or unmotivated?
We're going to get to that later.
Love that question. Why can't the Niners run the ball? Is it Trent Williams' fault? Bill Kennedy says, Niners, Kyle should have listened to quality control. It's always a good idea to do that. Shady Luke says the Niners paying him was so premature.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. Dan Serrano says, number 13 has no choice but to force plays. Too many hurt.
Oh, so he has an excuse.
So he has to commit turnovers. Fish and Chip says, hi, Cohn fam. I'm on IR, 9-year itch, Kyle-itis.
Hi, Mike.
All right. That's enough of Brock for now. We'll come back to the Rams game in a minute. Let's talk about Robert Saleh's explanation of what happened. It was bizarre last week, and he got shown up after the game. Well, a lot of stuff happened, and then he talked today, Dad. What did you make of the whole thing?
I want a little bit of a run up to this, so I'm going to talk a little, and please bear with me, okay, Iggy?
Sure.
First, I want to tell you what I think of Robert Saleh. I've never met him. I never will meet him. I've never met Kyle. I never will meet him. I'm an old guy up in Oakland. I really like Robert Saleh. Robert, if you ever watch this is so sincere, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I admire you. I think you're a stand-up guy for the most part. and I think you're a gentleman and a nice man. When Grant's mom, my wife, died, Salah contacted Iggy from when he was head coach of the Jets and expressed his condolences. It makes me really like him. Now, the Niners did something nice. The public relations department sent a beautiful bouquet of flowers to my house up in Oakland, not to Iggy's house. I don't even know this PR staff, but it touched me and still does touch me deeply. We never heard from Shanahan, but he may not have known about it. But Salah did that thing. So I'm going to be critical of Salah now, but it comes from a place of warm, positive emotion. I am almost double Salah's age, so I may not have more wisdom than him, but I have more experience in the world. And so, Robert, I have certain things to say. When you started off last week, and I watched, on TV, on my screen, that press conference when you said Liam Cohn, the head coach of the Jaguars, steals signs, but it's totally legal and it's a good thing. Bullshit. I've been around a lot longer than you have. You would not have brought that up if you thought it was positive. So I'm thinking to myself, why would he do that? Why would he do that? Because it was unnecessary. Well, maybe he's so smart and he's a chess player. He maybe was moving his rook somewhere or his bishop. But then I thought, no, there's no gain to that. Then it brings up the issue, and Iggy, I hope you don't mind that I'm going on. It brings up the issue. Was he, did he have sour grapes that the Jacksonville job went to Liam Cohn and not him? I don't know if that's the case because I've never in my life spoken to Salah, but it raised the issue. By him saying that, any sentient person would say, whoa, is this about his not getting the job? So he raised the issue, even if it wasn't the issue. He raised it by vocalizing that. My dad would have told me, don't go there. You're letting yourself in jeopardy. And my mom used to say, you're the master of the unspoken word, meaning keep your trap shut. Okay, now the game ends. And they have an encounter on the field. From what I understand, and if I'm wrong, please tell me, Liam Cohn says, keep my name out of your fucking mouth, which I think is a fair thing to say. Mm-hmm. Why did you go after me? I didn't go after you. Keep my name out of your fucking mouth, which is essentially what Will Smith said that time. Okay. Yeah. From what I understand, Salah yelled back at him and said something like, I'll end your life?
I think that's a direct quote.
I'll end your life. What civilized person says that? It sounds like a line from The Sopranos, and It sounds like a threat. Now, it may not have been a threat. It was in the heat of the moment, but a gentleman doesn't say that. Okay, so that's the whole background, and you can see where I'm coming from. Robert, again, I respect you, but I think you need to think about how you acted, because I think you let yourself down. Now it's today, a few hours ago. He comes and he has that, he looks great, the shaved head, he's handsome, he's smart, he has that deep voice like an actor. He could do commercials. He could do commercials, and he's ready because he's smart, and he's ready, and he knows that he's going to be asked about it. So he says, people misunderstood me. I was praising him. Bullshit. You know it's bullshit. I know it's bullshit. And Liam Cohn knew it was bullshit. And then he says, I chose my words badly. No, he didn't. He's a smart man. He's the one who initiated the topic. He had it all worked out. The words worked out. And he says, if I had said, I should have said film study. Okay. In what universe is film study in the same world as stealing signs? Well, if he had said film study, not synonymous. If he had said film study, Liam Cohn would probably afterwards say, thanks, that's really up. He wouldn't have said, keep my name out of your fucking mouth. he would have said, it's nice. You praised our film study. You're pretty good at it too. But he didn't say that. So today, when he was saying these things, I was really praising him, and I could have said film study, and my words came out the wrong way. No, you said exactly what you meant, and when you did it, you let yourself down. A couple more things. It was not Robert's place to say anything before the game. It's Shanahan's place. It's Shanahan's team. It is not Salah's team. Shanahan speaks to the team. If he has a problem with the other coaching staff and he wants to talk about it, it's his job. Bill Walsh would have gone over to Salah after Salah said this, and he would have, because I heard him say this many times, and he even told me he said it to Eddie. Bill would have said to Salah, shut your mouth. It's my fucking team. That's what Bill would have said. It's my fucking team. Meaning, we go with one voice, and it's my voice. When you're a head coach somewhere or here, you can do that. But you don't undercut me because now you gave them bulletin board material. There is nothing you did that helped us. You need to investigate your motivations, which seem petty and seem self-serving. And you need to ask, did you help the team? And one final thing, Iggy, and I know I'm ranting, and Robert, I am ranting, and I apologize. I hope you can learn from what I'm saying. Someone asked you today in this press conference, after the whole kerfluffle, did you contact Liam Cohn? And you said no. Robert, you should have. You owed him an apology. A gentleman would have. You didn't have to apologize in public. Here's what Bill used to do when he screwed up. And I've told the story, how he got Don Shula mad at him. And I wrote a letter for Bill. And Bill liked it. He copied it in his handwriting. He signed it. He mailed it to Shula with an apology and a case of wine. You could have written a private email. I'm sure you have Liam Cohn's email, or you could have got it, saying, Liam, I was out of line. It's in the heat of battle. I'm competitive. I think you're a hell of a coach, and I don't think you're a cheater. The next time we see each other, let's shake hands. That's what you should have done, Robert. And that would have been the Robert Saleh I imagine you are. And I still think you are that person, but there is another person contending. We all have a million personalities, and the other one is a little petty. And you need to be aware of that, and you need to fight. You let him out of jail for this. You need to put him back in jail, and you need to be the best possible Robert Saleh. Iggy, I'm done.
That was good. That was the best pep talk Robert Saleh's ever gotten. And you guys, chat, can you see what I dealt with growing up? Can you imagine when I fucked up? What the kind of talking to I would get from my dad? I just sit there like, you're right, you are right. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, Robert, that one's tough. My dad, you just got the Lowell Cohn treatment. It's good though. He made you a better man.
I think he's a good man, but I think, Iggy, we all need to investigate our behavior. I have screwed up and said the wrong things thousands of times, and I needed my dad. I needed other people older than me that I respected to say, you screwed up, Lowell. Think about it. What are you going to do now? We all need that.
And it's so interesting. Football is a sport of like courage and toughness on the field. But there's these moments where football people fall short of those ideals. And I feel like Saleh wasn't tough in this moment. What would have been tough and courageous would have, after Liam Cohn said, keep my name out of your fucking mouth, to say, fair enough. You're right. Yeah. I fucked up. Yeah. And apologize. That actually takes character. And Saleh couldn't do it.
Or hasn't do it. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
He still has a chance. Iggy, he still has a chance.
Yeah.
And I would admire him so much. Liam, it took me a little while. I had to think it through. Let's put this behind us. My fault. Let's shake hands. Let's hug next time we see each other. I admire you. He can still do it. It's not over.
Yeah. Send him a case of wine. Send him a bottle of Johnny Walker, something. Find out what he likes. Give him that.
Yeah.
Baby Rating says, why did we trade for Brian Robinson Jr.? To give all the touches to Christian McCaffrey? Of course. They were thinking about. We're going to talk about the running back unit in a minute. Propa says Scadaboo is healthy and fighting for every inch of grass behind a bad O-line in New York right now. Just saying. Yes, the Niners probably should have drafted a running back before round 5. We talked about how running back was one of the biggest needs on the team, and they waited. And they are now not playing that guy they drafted. Ryan I says Kyle won't hold himself accountable, and Jed refuses. And King Z Drizzy says, wild how they not talking about Trent's game. Okay, let's get into it. It's not just Saleh. It's not just Brock. It's the fact that the foundation of the 49ers offense, their running game, is completely broken. I mean, they have like the worst running game in the league, or the second worst running game in the league in terms of yards per carry. When you ask coaches or people about it, they really don't have anything good to say. Getting close. When we get to the second level, we really got to break away. I don't know, Dad. It seems to me that there's a simple explanation about the running game. When Kittle comes back, that'll help. Sure. But what's not going to change is the fact that Christian McCaffrey looks kind of old.
So, Iggy, are we skipping the Trent Williams issue?
I think he looks kind of old too, but I think Trent Williams is doing his job a whole lot better than Christian's doing his.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we see with Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah.
I'm partial to him because he's a Stanford guy. And everything I know about him, he's a good guy. At one point in his career when he played for the Niners, Iggy, he was one of the most electric players I ever saw in my life. Electric. Yeah. And what I would see was he would go, a little guy, he would get into the line of scrimmage and you think, they're going to knock him down. All of a sudden, he was past it. And when the linebackers came in, he had so many deceptive moves. And his vision, it was like 2020, he was like 10-10. You know what I mean? His vision and his legs. And he would have these astonishing runs. Iggy, he can't do it anymore as a running back. What Kyle has to do now is do trick plays for him, like that hook and ladder, because he can't. Up and through 4 games, he has not been able to break away. And this is already a quarter of the season gone by, and he hasn't been able to do it. So I think when they say, gee, we have to get our running game together, what they're really saying is we don't have the running back anymore.
I think so. And that's the one thing that isn't going to change. Now, maybe they give Garendo a chance, or Robinson a chance, or Jordan James a chance, and one of those guys is really good. But saving that, I don't know that there's any saving this running game. And I think it's interesting. We asked Kyle, and he's like, well, how come the yards per carry are down? And he's like, well, we haven't, got any long runs. To get, high yards per carry, you need some long runs, and teams are playing a lot of 2 deep safeties against us, and it's harder to get the long runs against 2 deep safeties. Yeah, well, why are teams not loading the box against the Niners? Because your running game sucks, and they can stop it without loading the box. So the real issue is that when Christian McCaffrey gets past the line, which he often does, he's not making anyone miss at the second level, as coaches say. You get to the linebackers and the safeties, you go down. They hit you, you go down. You're not making anyone miss. You're not breaking free. It's been all season.
And Iggy, when they hit him, he really goes down. It's not like he's making extra yards after a hit. He used to, and there are certain backs who do. Jordan Mason makes extra yards after a hit. Funny, I would mention his name. McCaffrey doesn't do it anymore. They knock him down pretty. It's almost like they're picking on a kid. It makes my heart ache when I see that happen. And he jumps up because he's so aggressive and wants to do well so much. He jumps up and I'll do it on the next one. You could see that, but he's not doing it on the next one. So I think Kyle's in a bad place, and he put himself in a bad place. How do you have a really good passing game when you have no running game?
Yeah. And I think what's interesting is there is still an effective way to use him. I'm not saying he's bringing down the offense or he's a bad player, I think they're using him way too much. And I'm not sure that he should be like a starting running back anymore. Like if you had another guy, maybe you give him more of the carries, but he's still a really good receiver. And there must be creative ways to sort of de-emphasize him as a running back and still use him as a receiver and still have him as someone the defense has to account for. But to run your whole offense through him is to have a bad offense.
I think it's as simple as that. If Kyle persists in running the offense through CMC, especially using him as a running back, he's doomed to have a crummy offense.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, Iggy, their offense is crummy.
Yep.
Matt Mayoko, after the game, he does a little report card on TV, and he gave the offense an F. And Matty's a good grader. He's an easy grader because he's so sweet. But no, that offense is no good. And they have a 3-1 record, which is wonderful. But it's the defense that's giving them that, except in the last game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like this kind of comes back to the Brock thing. It's like you've seen Christian on the field 4 games. It's so painfully obvious that he's not what he used to be. And just like it was painfully obvious that Brock was hurt in this last game. Are you not going to react? Why? Are you just going to keep giving him the ball and throwing him out there because you paid him? I mean, you got to do what's best for the team and win these games. And you can't say that your approach to your offense has given your team the best chance to win the game. I still maintain that the best drive they had all freaking season was the 2-minute drill with Mac Jones at the end of the Arizona game because Kyle wasn't forcing the ball to Christian every play.
That 2-minute drill was beautiful.
Yep.
It was beautiful. It's how you want an offense to play.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch that.
Yeah.
In rhythm, moving quickly and not doing 18 motions before the snap and letting the play clock get down to 2 and 1. It's nice to watch that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Iggy, I would like McCaffrey to do well because I would like the privilege of watching him play beautifully because he was beautiful. He was beautiful. Beautiful.
He was.
And I would like to be able to experience that beauty again. And I hope it happens.
Yeah. It's interesting to say, Christian's just kind of old. He's like 28, maybe 29. I think he's 29. It's not old. It's way younger than Trent. It's younger than George, but he plays a different position, and running backs get old very fast, very quickly.
He's been hit a lot, and Iggy, so far in the 4 games, God, has he been hit. He's taken full-on frontal hits from bigger guys.
Yes. Often multiple on one play.
Yeah.
Clark Kent says, as an up-and-coming journalist, what's a question to always avoid asking?
Yeah. This is the worst thing that a journalist can ever say. And they present it as a question, but it's a declarative statement. Talk about. That's what they say. Talk about what happened on 3rd down. Talk about your quarterback. And then the coach is supposed to, what do you mean talk about? So anyone who says talk about, and they do it all the time, is an amateur.
Yeah. Draco says Robinson over 9.5 rushing yards on Prize Picks. Bang. Okay, I think it's time for some Prize Picks, Dad. Let's put our noggins together and figure out what's going to happen in this game in 2 days. Prize Picks thinks that Purdy's going to play, so let's humor him. 239.5 passing yards. I would really assume that he's going to make it through the whole game. What do you think against this excellent Rams defense?
Never in a million years.
Never in a million years. I would have to agree with that. Matthew Stafford, 235.5 against a Bosa-less Niners defense.
Yes, more.
Yes. Okay, rushing yards. Christian McCaffrey. Prize Picks is starting to get the deal that he's not doing well here. 59.5. I think it was 70-something. He had 49 against Jacksonville. 59.5 against the Rams.
No, less. Fewer.
Less. How about Brian Robinson Jr., the backup? Do you think Kyle Shanahan will get him involved this week? All he needs is 14.5 rushing yards.
I think he'll get 14.5 rushing yards.
Okay. All right. I like that. Receiving yards. All of the Niners receivers are hurt, so Prize Picks doesn't know who to put up there other than Christian McCaffrey. 51.5 receiving yards for Christian McCaffrey. He has eclipsed that every game this year.
I'd say more.
I think he has more receiving yards than rushing yards. that's enough. I think those are good prize picks. 5 of them. 2 McCaffreys, 1 Stafford, a Purdy, and a Robinson. I like those picks, Dad. That's what we're doing. We're going to flex them just to be smart, and we'll submit them because I've been winning a lot of my flex plays. Download the app yourself. Use promo code COHN. Play $5 and get $50 in lineups instantly. And remember, the app is available in 45 states, including California and Texas.
Iggy, what does flex mean?
Okay, I like that question. We did 5 picks, so if we get 3 or 4 of them right, we could still win. We could still win money. Like I'll show you. Let me show you real quick. If you do the other one, you got to win all of them, and your odds aren't great. But let me show you some of my picks from last week. My lineups passed. Okay, well so this one, I got 4 of the 6 correct, and I won $8.
Wow. Okay.
Had I not flexed it, I would have won no bucks, and $8 is better than no bucks.
So flexed is you. I don't know what flex means.
It's like it means I don't know why they choose the word flex, but it's like you get lower odds, but you win even if you get a couple wrong. So it's like I don't have to shoot the moon here. You see what I'm saying?
Got it.
Because I don't tend to get all of them right, but I can get 4 right. So that's where I'm at with my prize picks.
That's flexing. Strategy. Okay, I got it.
Hog20 says CMC can still see the hole, but there's no fluidity in his running style, and there's little burst. He was always a tight runner, but now he's just stiff.
That's a very interesting comment, and I find it instructive.
Thank you. Okay, Dad. It's prediction time. Why don't we do what we do every week? Let's play out the scenario of the 49ers winning this game, then the scenario of them losing, and then we'll make a prediction.
Winning first. Okay.
Considering they're 6.5 point underdogs at this point, let's do the less likely scenario first.
Okay, winning. Okay. No, I'm not delaying. Okay. I'm organizing my thoughts.
Okay.
They win because Salah really does a good job with that defense. That would be the key thing. He puts pressure on Stafford. Because Stafford sometimes, he's not that fast. If you put pressure on him, he looks old, and he makes mistakes. So they put pressure on Stafford. As a result, Puka Nacua doesn't do as well as you'd think, and all of that kind of thing. On the offense, miracle things happen. Yeah. Purdy or Mac Jones does well. Kyle does design very interesting plays. He's creative. And usually you open up the pass by running. They open up the run by passing. It's reversed. And McCaffrey is catching passes, and whoever the hell they have playing on Thursday. And all of a sudden, McCaffrey maybe gets 70 or 80 yards as a runner because they're doing things passing. And the Niners win a close game, but a gutty game, and now they're 4-1. And that would be a big deal. A big deal.
I like that.
What do you think?
Add to that? I can add to that. Okay, how about this? So it's a short week, and you're going to go play on turf, and you haven't managed Christian McCaffrey at all. You've used him a ton. You got to dial it back. And this is a good week because he's an older running back. He has calf issues, and those could get worse on turf. So just in spite of himself, even though Kyle wants to run the offense through Christian McCaffrey, he doesn't this week. He saves Christian from himself, and as a result of no Christian, maybe no Pearsall, we get the most creative version of Kyle. And he really out-coaches Sean McVay, gets Jake Tondres involved in the red zone, plays really well. Mac Jones plays, or let's say whichever quarterback plays, doesn't turn the ball over 3 times. Maybe they don't turn the ball over at all. And Stafford does. So there's some creativity from Kyle. Maybe there's a different running back. Maybe they play Isaac Guerendo. Remember when they liked Isaac Guerendo, Dad?
Is he active?
Yeah. I mean, last year they thought that he might be better than Jordan Mason. They got rid of Jordan Mason, got a guy who's like not as good as Jordan Mason, and they think he's better than Guerendo. Maybe they give him a look. Maybe they give the rookie a look. Maybe they give Brian Robinson a look. But they do something they haven't done yet on offense, and it catches the Rams by surprise, and they don't commit 4 freaking turnovers. and don't beat themselves.
I love it. And they win a close game. And boy, if they win that game next Tuesday when we go on, I will praise them to the skies. And I'll be happy to do it.
Let me ask you an impertinent question before we move on to the losing.
Yeah,
if Mac starts this game and wins, what happens?
Okay, that's obvious to me. If Mac wins,
Mhm.
Kyle may delay bringing back Brock a week or two, but he will bring him back because he's the number one quarterback, and it's how Kyle Shanahan thinks. Oh, remember when he said, well, no, he's number 3 on the depth chart. He was talking about Jordan Mason, right? He goes by the depth chart. His quarterback that he believes in is Brock Purdy. So even if Mac wins, no, Brock will come back. That's what I firmly believe. Okay, losing scenario. Let's start again with defense. It's a hell of a defense. Robert Saleh really has them ready. He doesn't call McVay a legal cheater, although he already has. He already did that too, right?
Last week.
He did it last week. So McVay may be pissed.
It's not just Liam Cohn, it's Sean McVay and Kevin O'Connell too. Okay.
I mean, he wasn't messing around, Iggy. Okay, so the defense is terrific, but the passing game of the Rams is pretty good. They have some pretty good wide receivers, and they're able to run against the 49ers because the 49ers defense is not the best against the run. So what I'm saying is they can pass and run. And as good as the Niners defense is and as good as Saleh is, offense, whoever the quarterback is, especially if it's Purdy, they get trapped in the pocket and they get sacked. They get sacked some. They don't have a running game. McCaffrey catches some passes, but he gets knocked down like a flounder. He's laying there like a flounder. And Trent Williams is beginning to look confused, old, bewildered. After the game, Iggy, bewildered. Because what happens is a great athlete, I'm going to say he, but it could be she. I don't want to use they. A great athlete in his mind or her mind always feels like that great athlete and doesn't understand when the body can't do what the mind wants it to do. And I think he's beginning to experience that.
Yeah.
I think if the Rams win, it won't be by just a field goal. It'll be 10, 15, something like that points.
Yeah, I mean, the Niners couldn't touch Trevor Lawrence. Well, now you got Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
I mean, this offensive line is better. This quarterback is better. Their wide receivers are better. And against that Jaguars defense, Robert Saleh was soft and conservative. He rushed 4. He played zone. He had him playing off. He was conceding catch after catch to Brian freaking Thomas Jr. Well, now you got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. So if you weren't confident against the Jaguars receivers, I don't expect Saleh to play particularly aggressively and blitz a lot, even though if he doesn't, he's going to lose. So I don't expect much from the defense in this game. And then on offense, the offense is a mess. The offense is a freaking mess. And if they lose, whichever quarterback they put out there, Brock, Mac, both of them, they're going to really struggle because there is no running game here. And all the receivers are hurt. And the Rams defense is really good. Their pass rush is really good. So whichever quarterback's going to play is going to get hit multiple times. And like you said, this game might not be so close.
Iggy, they never even hit Trevor Lawrence.
They didn't touch him. No. Yeah. So what do you think? Who's going to win, Dad?
Oh. I see no reason to pick the 49ers.
Yeah. It's too bad. You know, they really thought that Jaguars game was the must-win game, and they really gave it their all, and now they're going to lose this game. This was the game they needed to win. They're going to lose this game, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look, if they win this game, we won't apologize because we're allowed to have an opinion, and opinions can be wrong. But I'll admit we were wrong and say we're delighted to be wrong, and God love the Niners. But, Iggy, I repeat, I see no reason to pick the 49ers in this game.
If they win this game, it would be a miracle.
Yeah.
There would have to be so many fluky things that would happen. Or maybe Mac Jones or Brock Purdy is just going to put the team on their shoulders. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
The best quarterback on the field is going to be on the Rams. All right.
Unless he gets hurt. And then if he gets hurt, Iggy, wouldn't that be dramatic? Jimmy.
Yeah. And you got Jimmy time. I don't want Matthew Stafford to get hurt. I would never, ever wish that upon anyone. But if Jimmy just happened to, like if Matthew Stafford got, the flu or not even the flu, food poisoning before the game and Jimmy just had to play, I wouldn't be upset.
It would be
feel bad for Matthew.
Yeah, but it would be so dramatic, right?
Yes.
It would be the height of drama, more than Eric Armstead. It would be really
Eric
the height.
It's just the tip of the freaking iceberg, man. People that want revenge against this team. Armstead was one. Jimmy's on the list, man. Jimmy, he deserves one start against Kyle Shanahan in his life. He deserves it.
Okay.
All right, I got one big picture question, then we're out of here.
All right.
The Niners are 3-1. That's a hell of a record. They just lost by 5 at home. There's no shame in that. But the way they lost, the way they acted after they lost, the injuries, do you feel quarter of the way into the season that this team is a contender or a pretender?
Let's say, do they seem like a 3-1 team?
Yeah.
Okay. The fact is they're a 3-1 team. So they are like a 3-1 team because they're a 3-1 team. But do we feel that they're going to be 6-2 after 8 games? I don't think so, Iggy. First of all the injuries, which is too bad. No one cares. Fans care, but no one in the league cares. They have played close games with inferior teams.
Yeah.
They lost to a team that had no offense. I mean, really, a quarterback's no good. They had no offense. They had a good running back who had a great run that made the defense look pretty bad, frankly. But so they are a 3-1 team, but they don't give me confidence that they'll go 3-1 in the next 4 games. I think they're going to lose to the Rams, and then they have Tampa. That is a winnable game, but Iggy, that's a losable game.
Yeah, it is a losable game.
That's a losable game. So this is a team, they may end up 5-1, but they also could end up 3-3.
I mean, they could end up with 10 or 11 wins because of their schedule, but I just don't look at them as legit contenders yet, just based on their team. And maybe I'm misreading it, but let's just break it down. I mean, special teams still sucks. Yeah. The kicker's better. They gave up an 87-yard touchdown, a punt return touchdown. They can't get any type of return. And they gave that up. Like, it's still a joke. It's still one of the worst special teams in the league. Defense is good, but not great. It will not be a great defense without Nick Bosa. They don't have a pass rush. They'll have to manufacture it, and that'll be, some weeks they'll do it better than others. They didn't do it last week. So the defense is capped. It can be good, but it's not going to be great. And the offense is a mess, Dad. It's just an absolute mess. And maybe at some point, all the players on offense will be healthy at the same time. But it's starting to look like maybe not. And even if they are all healthy at the same time, Christian's not going to be young suddenly, and neither's Trent. So I feel like they'll have some issues with the offense every week.
Iggy, let's be specific. When you say that the offense is a mess, give me 2 ways in which the offense is a mess.
I mean, they're scoring 20 points per game. That sucks. And why are they scoring 20 points per game? Because they can't score in the red zone. Why can't they score in the red zone? Because their running back is kind of old. He used to be all Kyle would do in the red zone was give the ball to Christian or Debo. Debo's gone. Christian isn't Christian anymore. And so Kyle's out of ideas. His whole idea is I give the ball to Christian McCaffrey roughly 50% of the time. That's not a good idea in 2025. And we're approaching October and he hasn't found idea 2. George Kittle's hurt. We don't know when he's coming back. No idea when he's now Ricky's hurt. We don't know what the issue is there. Juwan's been hurt all year. Brandon's supposed to come back and save things. Lynch just said last week he's not close. I don't know.
Okay. So did you answer? I said two ways in which the offense is a mess. Do you think you handled two
I
ways?
think I
I think
put 2 or
about
3.
five
Yeah.
ways. Five ways. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
Mac's a good backup quarterback. I don't think he's taking him to the Super Bowl. And Brock's a good quarterback. Can he stay healthy long enough to be Brock Purdy for, like he was a few years ago? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Iggy, whenever I watch Brock play, I calculate 2 picks a game.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Oh, when is he going to throw the 2 picks? And Iggy, he throws lately 2 picks a game, right?
Yeah. And I'll never understand why he said it out loud, but he was on that podcast this offseason and was talking about how 60% of the time he sees what he throws, but the other 40% of the time he has to just trust it because he can't quite see it. Why would you say that? That explains everything. You're throwing with so much anticipation that you're basically saying, see what happens.
Yeah.
You got to know when to take those risks. And if it's on first down with the lead in games, it's like, man, you're going to get benched doing stuff like that. Because I don't know, Mac's in the same system and he's not, at least yet, throwing a bajillion picks when he plays.
I kind of like running on first down, but they can't run. You know what I mean? I like running and getting 5 or 6 yards. That sets up the next 2 downs really nice. On second down, you can go long. You can take a shot.
Kyle likes to take the shot on first down.
Okay.
And I think that leads to some big plays and some bad plays, as we've seen. Yeah.
And
he's not exactly a safety first play caller.
Yeah.
Dazza says, what if Mac plays and the offense looks better? We addressed that.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that the last time the Niners played the Rams was like one of the last games last season. It was at home. Brock Purdy played, and they scored 6 points. Kittle played. Pearsall played 6 points. So if they can score 7, that would be an upgrade this week. Maybe they can do it. Dad?
Yeah.
What? You think they score 7?
I think they. Yeah, I do.
I think they got it. Well, definitely our best show of all time. I hyped it up at the beginning, and then I wondered, but you brought it.
I did.
You did. I mean, there was one section that was a pretty much mostly you talking, and I felt for Saleh in that moment because I've gotten those talking tos before, and they're uncomfortable when it's directed at you, but you appreciate them afterward. And I think Saleh appreciates it right now.
Okay, Robert. God love you, Robert, and I do admire you and like you.
Dad, I love you.
I love you, Iggy. This was interesting.
It was interesting, and it was sincere. It was good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Tomorrow, more content. The show goes on.